So it's the last day of 2024. It's the end of the year, and I've been thinking about how I can bring a more authentic and real approach towards transmitting and creating content. It's something that I'm doing all the time. This year has been a huge year of creative expression for me, really hundreds and hundreds of posts on Instagram. I started my podcast, and I've really been searching for an easier way to share the lessons and the insights and my journey. Because I've seen time and time again through the work that I'm doing that people really, really appreciate a kind of raw and vulnerable expression. And I'm somehow moving more and more away from this kind of like very curated, highly sort of edited content and more towards this, authentic, natural expression. And a part of me kind of just hates the constant need to like compare and optimize and produce and output and with this kind of like never-ending competition to get ahead. And so I was thinking about it last night. I'm like, why don't I just switch the camera on and start talking? And if people like it, they like it. And if not, it's still a beautiful thing for me to practice storytelling and sharing myself and being vulnerable and bringing the lessons that I'm learning and sort of packaging them as bite-sized kind of insights that maybe is useful for other people. And I also just enjoy. It's one of my ways of processing my stuff. So I thought for 2025 coming, I'm going to start vlogging like this on a daily basis, at least for the first month. I'm just going to challenge myself to do 30 days in a row of sharing what's coming up for me. And so I wanted to start this first test with a kind of review of the year that has been. And it's definitely been one of the most challenging years of my life. I lost my father about 6-7 months ago to cancer, and the first 4-5 months of the year were just hell, and with him in hospital every day and going through this very, very confronting, heartbreaking experience of having to let go and say goodbye to this man that has been there all my life, always had my back, and, essentially one of the two oldest relationships that I've had. It's been this constant presence, this constant support in my life that I had to let go of and say goodbye to and navigate the whole funeral process and his estate and everything. And I was talking to my men's group the other day. We had our final group meeting for the year, and as I was going through my sharing, I was acknowledging how I could look at this year as the worst year of my life, having to say goodbye to my father. One of the hardest years of my life for sure. And at the same time, there's also been so much beauty, so much profound introspection, contemplation, and a discovery process of the love that exists inside of me as a result of having to go through something so hard. And I really noticed how it's through very intense emotional experiences that we actually get to deepen the relationship to ourselves. And in many ways, I wouldn't change it, although I've lost someone that I love deeply and care about and miss. You know, I would give anything for more time with him. It's also brought me so much wisdom, and it really, really helped to like crystallize the relationship that I had with him. We had many years where we sort of drifted apart, and I was off traveling the world, and we had our differences, and you know, things came between us. And it was actually through the confrontation with the end that brought us so much closer. You know, we became very close at the end, and I got to spend a lot of really high quality time with him, sharing stories and reminiscing and sort of cleansing the space and the stuff that had come between us, and healing, a lot of healing. And that was a beautiful thing to discover, a beautiful experience for him and for me. And I don't know if it would have been possible in the same way if it hadn't been for the threat of, you know, his health concerns. And also, you know, I'm so grateful that we got to experience that together. And in many ways it was a mercy, because I know that he wouldn't have wanted to linger and to stay and to drag us through this very difficult illness. And so in many ways it like he got set free and we got set free. And as I was talking to my men's group, I was saying, you know, like, I could easily say it's the worst year of my life, but at the same time I can also say it's one of the best years of my life, if not the best year. Because I feel more connected to him than ever, even though he's not even with us anymore. And I feel more connected to myself than ever, because in his passing, I've been having this deep inner process of understanding who I am, where I've come from, what has shaped me, and the kind of man that I want to be in this world, the kind of life that I want to live. I've been, you know, I started my podcast this year, and that was in many ways an emergence of this desire to communicate and to share the stories, the lessons, the insights that I've been having by going through this profound inner turmoil and transformation. So I think there's a sort of profound, many profound lessons in this, because I think so many of us have this, we live in this perpetual fear of the end, this fear of death. And that actually keeps us playing small. It keeps us trapped. It keeps us playing safe in the comfort zone. And increasingly, I've been seeing this necessity to really clarify, like, what an amazing life looks like, what my mission is here, what I really hope to achieve with my life, the impact that I want to have on the world, the message that I'm spreading and transmitting out there, and what's most important. So this has been just a profound gift that just keeps unfolding, and I feel like my character, my personality, my how I identify myself and what I understand is this just constant unfolding process that is continuing. You know, it feels like it's speeding up. And I feel like there's this wet, like fountain somehow, this fountain of creativity that just wants to emerge, this hunger for learning, this hunger for education, this hunger to contribute something of beauty and meaning and value from my life, my existence out there to you, essentially, into your world somehow, if this resonates and if this connects. And to somehow, this celebration of life. And since saying goodbye to my father, I have had this spiritual awakening, realization, unfolding of seeing the finitude and the limits of life somehow, and then wanting to live so much more fully, so much more passionately, so much more alively, and to not waste time. Like nothing matures you more than loss. By having to let go of your attachments. It really put me into contact with the truth that at some point we have to let go of everything, all of our attachments. We don't keep our money, we don't keep our achievements, we don't keep our status, we don't even keep our relationships. At the end, we let everything go. So isn't it weird how we move through life trying to hold on to things in this attempt to create some measure of certainty and security, which is, in the end of it, an illusion that just helps us cope. And it's through that grasping that we actually end up living very contracted, safe, mediocre lives. And I've seen that, and I turned to my partner, I turned to her the other day and I said, look, I've seen, like, letting go of Dad was so painful, but it's helped me understand that at some point I have to let you go. And that's fucking terrifying. And then I have to let this go, I have to let even this idea of Jasper, this guy, at some point this dissolves and I let go. Profound when you think about it, and sort of contemplating that and sitting with that. It's like, wow, this life is a temporary experience. It's a fleeting moment that we somehow convince ourselves that it's not. It seems long, it seems like we have time, but that time can be taken away in an instant. Just like with my father, like we thought we had years, and one day we just wake up and he's gone. He had a stroke. And by the evening he was gone. I was holding him, I said goodbye to him the night before thinking I'll see him in the morning. And by the next evening he was dying in my arms. Just like that, And if that, and I'm sure you've had some sort of experience in your life of letting go and realizing what you thought was solid and dependable, secure and safe was actually just the illusion of that. Just a temporary experience of attachment that then, and if you've ever been in a relationship, a long-term relationship or any relationship that ended, suddenly this person that was such a big part of your life, so intimately connected and familiar and attached, was just ripped away. And then you have to redefine yourself. You have to continue life without them. And it's such a weird experience from being so close, so connected to completely disconnected. As if what you experienced together was nothing somehow. I mean, look at your exes, your previous relationships. Like, most of them we don't even know anymore. Where did they go? It's like it never happened, or did it? You know, like. So for me, I think this was one of the biggest lessons of this year, was this developing a relationship with death and understanding, like, what is this life? What am I going to do? How do I relate? How do I want to die? How do I want to turn around at the end and experience and think about my life? If I am going through that portal of death, I want to be ready. And how am I going to be ready? And so my Father has given me so many priceless gifts. The gift of life to start with. The gift of love and nurture and support and care, and even in his passing, a tremendous gift. So I'm ending this year with a very complex cocktail of emotion and inner vibrancy, incongruence between the beauty and the pain. Perhaps because of the pain, there is so much beauty. It's put things in a very different light, a different context. So in some ways, I could say it was the best and the worst year of my life. Maybe just the best. Hard, very, very hard, very, very full of grief and pain, but also shimmering with grace and beauty and love and, profound understanding. And really that's what I'm trying to transmit through my work, is a deep relationship with life. Questing for an integral, integrative experience here in relationships, in the relationship with yourself, through my purpose, my work that I'm sending out there into the world. I hope to infuse this with a real passion and love as a gift that I hope will spread in some way and offer you a chance to see yourself in a new light. So with that said, I think I'll end this episode here. I'll be back every day for January, continuing this, telling more stories. This is just the end of this year, a new beginning. Many, many things to share with you guys and unfold. I'm looking forward to it. So thanks for listening, and I'll see you guys in the next one.